we have here a wide variety of surface mount tape feeders. They make them different sizes for the different widths of the component tape that the components come on. For instance, right here we have an 8mm, meaning that the tape is actually 8mm wide. This makes up about 95 to 99% of all components that are placed on circuit boards. Okay?
All right.
And it actuates and advances the tape 4mm at a time. They graduate on up to where you have here a 12mm. The difference in width is in the body of the feeder. 12mm wide tape. Down here we have 16mm wide, 24mm wide, 32mm wide, and we have a 44mm wide right here. This is the big mammer jammer.
It looks like a gun or something. There you go.
I didn't want to tell you.
But it is.
Stick them up. These feeders will be actuated to advance a new part from pickup to go and place on the board. I'm going to manually advance one of these so that you can see it and how far it actually goes. Oh, wrong one. We'll do this one. See how it only advances 4mm at a time. Every time it advances that much, a new component is presented to the machine. This is what's known as a stencil printer for the surface mount process. It uses a stencil with hundreds if not thousands of apertures cut at a stencil shop by a laser machine. They can also be chemically etched. In this case, this one was cut with laser, and it's preferable to chem etch in that it gives you a smoother aperture wall on a microscopic level, which allows for better release of the paste during the printing process. Normally, we would be using a double squeegee print, but the way this stencil was made, it's too close to the edge of the stencil, and it does not allow for the trailing edge of the squeegee to pass completely over the board. So we're doing this with a hand squeegee process. The solder paste itself is a peanut butter substance or peanut butter consistency of millions of microscopic balls of solder that there's a very high-tech process for producing these perfectly spherical balls of solder, and then it's mixed in with some fluxes to give it the peanut butter consistency that is perfect for this squeegee process.
So, go.
The board mounts on some cam tooling pins that we've positioned in here, and then it's already been pre-aligned, the apertures to the pads on the board. This is solder paste.
Taste?
Where's the jelly?
Tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken.
Oh, no, hang on.
Go. So now I'm going to drag this across here at a very slow rate to make sure we get good deposits in the apertures. And kind of roll the solder paste.
Does it ever dry out? How long does it take?
Here, I didn't get this last part very well.
How long
oh yes, it dries out. You have a limited amount of air time, and if it does get dry, then it loses a tacky property that allows the components to stick in place when the machine places the parts on there. When we get into a higher volume of circuit boards that we need to run a lot of, we'll use this conveyor in that it will talk to the machine and actually feed in a board when the machine is ready. Today, we're not doing that. We're manually pushing the boards in. Here we have some of the feeders that we were talking about before. Let me turn this off so that we don't get hit there. Here's the head. It has 8 nozzles on it back here behind You might be able to see some of those. This is a nozzle station. 4 of those heads can change nozzle sizes depending on what type of part they need to place.
Now the nozzle is picking up, it's not blowing. We think of nozzle as blowing stuff out. You
No.
use nozzle to pick a part up.
Yes, it uses vacuum to lock onto the top of the part.
Okay.
Here we have vibratory bases. They are vibrating right now. Don't know if you can hear them. Okay. Here we have the line array camera that actually takes split-second pictures of the parts and uses that to square them up and set them down in the right place. Here we have the conveyor that brings the board in. This is a camera that looks down on the board and reads a fiducial to line up the program with. Here we have a ball screw. Here we have a ball screw, lead screw also called. This is the X lead screw to move the head in the X direction. This is the Y lead screw.
How fast is this machine has how many parts?
I believe it'll do somewhere around 10,000 components an hour. That's what it's rated for.
So the machine starts when it sees the board go in.
Right, there is a sensor in there. It sets the board up. Here it's just going to stick in place several ICs. Reading the fiducial, place that particular board. What it has here is 4 identical, or one program that repeats itself 4 times. Back up and start over?
That's fine. I'm ready to go.
Are you? Here we go.
Go. This machine seems to run a little faster.
It does. The last machine placed the ICs. This one is placing all the passive components.
And it picks up 8 at a time.
Yep.
So it picks up 8, places 8. Picks up 8, places 8.
Right. Pick up, and it takes a picture of 8 components at a time, passing them over. This machine, I believe, is capable of placement rates of 12 to 15,000 parts an hour. It uses the same type of vision technology with the line array camera in the front. That flashing that you see is where it's taking pictures of all these components in a split second, squaring them up and knowing how to turn them to put them down right. It also is taking pictures and showing them up on the screen, up on the top. Every time it makes a trip to the front and goes back over the board, it's picking up and placing 8 components. Now it's changing nozzles to go get the socket. Bring it up and look at it. Place it down.
I went fit. So that clicking sound, that's the advancement. That's the thing being advanced.
Yes. This is a Heller 1800 reflow oven. The 8 in the number represents that it has 8 zones, top and bottom, for the reflow process. each zone is ramped up to a hotter temperature so that the profile that we've designed for this particular board can be achieved with the proper ramp up temperatures, and then a proper soak time, and then the proper time above liquidous solder temperature, which is about 183 C. So we're about to put a board in here on this conveyor. It's going to take it through and come out. All of the solder paste will be melted and the connections will be made, ready to go.
All right, so hang on.
Okay.
So what shows on the computer? Looks like a periodic.
What shows on, yeah, it does kind of, doesn't it? What shows on the computer are the set points and the actual temperatures of each zone.
So what does it start off with?
The zone is set at 142 C.
What's the hottest it ever gets?
The hottest zone here is set at 270 C, which is actually probably kind of hot.
That seems kind of hot to me.
I'm going to take that down to about 240. And
We're off.
the board disappears into a black hole,
Never to be seen again.
never to be seen again, until we take it out of the other end.
Right. And it emerges from the black hole. Ah, it's gonna fall! It's gonna fall! Quick!
Voila!
Voila!